I don't like people who pee in the shower. Huh? I find that very...
I do it.
can be, Paulo.
I mean, listen, if I have to pee, I have to pee. It's my shower.
The toilet bowl is right there.
But if I'm in the shower and the water is igniting the feeling of piss, well, I'm going to walk out wet.
no,
and go piss.
You can't hold it in.
No,
You're
I
a
won't.
grown-ass adult.
But it's my shower. Bet.
Bet.
What?
What?
What do you want to bet? $20.
$100,000?
Okay. I'm down. $20.
$300?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That you're saying the summer is gonna go into what? End of October?
No, I didn't say end of October.
okay,
I said
sorry.
end of September, the beginning of October. Bet.
First of all, do you guys get bruised by your blood work? I never did, and now I do. And you know why? And I'm gonna say why. Because I think every time I get a nurse, it's like a practicing nurse, like a new nurse. You know where he wanted to do my blood?
Where?
My hands.
Yeah,
I said,
they do
I'm
that.
sorry, I don't do heroin. So he's,
Hey,
hey, sweeties. I'm Paulo.
And I'm Anthony.
And you're on
Lots to discuss.
You are meeting us here on discussion 11.
Love the name, by the way.
So you love discussion.
Love discussion.
So we are X-name episode altogether.
That's correct. Because we're having discussions.
Because we're on
Lots to discuss.
We're clever. I don't know what to say.
Unbelievable.
Today's discussion is, are you lonely? I know.
This is very deep, huh?
Very deep. I feel like it's going to get personal, this one.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like it's going to be informative. It's going to be...
Very vulnerable for us to speak about this.
Absolutely. I mean, the
Because-
perspective of two single men.
Yeah, and admitting what parts of us and at what point do we feel lonely, when we do, when we don't, admitting it.
Well, it's that age-old question. You're alone, but are you lonely?
Yes.
So we kind of want to see, we want to dive into at least both of our perspectives on that topic.
I'm excited to do
I'm
that.
excited too. So
So,
we're going to grab some espresso because we're going to need it today.
yeah.
Cheers. Do you cheers espresso?
No,
it's bad luck.
Yeah. Non si fai mai cinci con un caffè. You never cheers with coffee.
No, but you never cheers with anything but alcohol in
That's
the Italian
right.
culture, or else you're dead for 7 years or something. What are these things sometimes?
People have it worse.
Can I
huh?
step on a crack of a sidewalk without my mother breaking her legs?
No,
Remember
it's-
that when you were a kid? If you stepped on a crack, your mother would like break her legs.
Listen, I feel like things have happened though.
Okay, not because you stepped on a crack in St. Henry. Grab your espresso because we have
So,
lots to discuss.
Hey, sweeties! We've reconnected after 20 years and decided there was lots to discuss.
Perspectives on gay culture, Italian upbringings, dating, sex, friendships, relationships, hot topics, and everything in between.
Funny and insightful conversations that everyone's in on. We've got lots to discuss.
So here we are, discussion 11. Unbelievable. How many do we have left until season one's over?
I want to say 7-ish.
7-ish. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
As of today, 7. Yeah.
Yeah, we have them all planned out.
We have them all 7 are planned out because you know why? We're organized.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, we are.
We are organized. We
Mhm.
know exactly what the next 7 are going to look like. We think you guys are going to love them.
That's right.
We are stopping July 29th.
Yeah,
need
because
a
we
summer
need
break.
I need a vacation, Paulo.
Oh my God. I need to not see you for about 2 weeks.
Are you still gonna call me every 2 minutes when we're on vacation?
Of course. Of course.
So how
love
will
you.
I feel? Like I had a break.
You won't. Yeah, you
I won't,
feel
eh?
it. Yeah, you won't feel it. In a friendship with me, you never have a break.
Oh no, and I feel it. Eh?
Yeah.
I look
Yeah.
how exhausted I am. But I love my friendship with you.
Oh, I love you.
Yeah.
I think
You
you're very
never make me
special.
feel alone.
Oh my God. Okay, don't make me cry at the beginning of the episode.
No, it's
Okay, let's get
fine.
into our week a little bit. Let's
Okay.
how was your week? What was going on? Summer has sort of approached. It's raining for the next 7 days. I hate Montreal.
I just want to talk about humidity.
Humidity. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Well, I'm wearing a hat because of it, right?
But it can be that I come out of the shower.
Mm.
Also,
Oh, you are good. Season 2, these are gone. We already have what's coming in because it's, you know what I figured out? It's the metal on this that rings the microphone.
I'm burning this house out.
Oh my God. I love my house, please.
But I'm burning this whole set.
Okay, so let's talk about humidity.
First of all,
Mm.
I have a bathroom that is a little old school. It doesn't even have a fan. So I can never shower with the door,
Door
closed.
Oh, close, yeah.
Paulo, when I come out of the shower, the entire apartment looks like it was in a sweatshop.
So that means you're not up to code in your apartment, that you don't have a fan. It means
And we're going to cut this
yeah,
whole
your
part out.
bathroom is illegal.
Is it?
I think so.
I kind of feel cool
Yeah.
now.
Can you describe everyone how you hold your towel when you come
Oh
out of the shower?
no! I can't believe you're bringing this
Because
up.
I just saw this yesterday and I thought it was wild.
Sweeties, hold on a minute, okay? First of all, you're so lucky that I answer a FaceTime call while I come out of the shower.
I want you to answer while you're in the shower.
No,
Yeah.
that's weird, huh?
I do it.
My ex used to have phone calls in the shower.
Yeah, I do it too. I have this thing where
Who
you
are
can
you
just
talking
prop up
to?
your phone. Oh, your friends. A meeting. We're going on tour. So okay, go. Okay,
Hold
go. Tell everyone why
Or
how
how,
you hold your towel. I want them to know.
Sweeties, when you come out of the shower,
Mm.
first of all, I'm not trying to impress anybody. It's myself. I'm alone. So, yes, I take my towel and I wrap it up here.
Around your breasts.
Because I want to like start drying myself. I'm not trying to be at the fucking Playboy mansion around my waist and doing some hula hoop dance. Okay?
Okay. So can I give you another
Go.
alternative on how to dry yourself? So you get out of the shower,
Mm-hmm.
you grab your towel,
Yeah.
and you start. Like I start with my arms. I'm butt ass naked, right?
Yeah.
Start with my arms.
This is how you dry
This is
yourself.
how I dry myself always. I start with my arms, other arm. Then I flip the towel.
Other side around.
And I go down my back.
Yeah.
And then I come back around and I do my chest.
Okay.
And La Palines.
Yeah.
Coquina.
Yeah.
I turn it, I put my leg on top of either the bathtub
You lift?
and I wipe my ass really nice. Guys, actually, just as
Hold on
we're-
a second. You're drying yourself? You're not patting, like tapping yourself
I'm
dry?
like both.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I finish up here because my hair accumulates the most water.
Okay.
And I just go, and
But-
then I'm done.
So I do a version of that.
I know, but he wraps it around like you're
because-
Marilyn Monroe.
So I wrap my towel around
Yeah.
me and I start brushing my teeth. I do everything.
See, I brush my teeth either in the shower,
No, that's weird, huh?
I know, I floss before getting in the shower, or I'll brush my teeth. Like I'll do everything before the shower.
The only thing left to do is cook dinner in the shower. People do way too much in there, eh?
Yeah,
I don't like people who pee in the shower, huh? I find that very...
I do it.
can be, Paulo.
I mean, listen, if I have to pee, I have to pee. It's my shower.
The toilet bowl is right there.
But if I'm in the shower and the water is igniting the feeling of piss, well, I'm gonna walk out wet.
no,
and go piss.
you can't hold it in.
No,
You're
I
a
won't.
grown-ass adult.
But it's my shower.
You like the smell of your urine
But-
as the hot water and all.
What do you have? Kidney failure that your urine is smelling?
No.
Like, no, my urine doesn't fucking potently smell.
No, I find that
it's weird. When I FaceTimed you and I saw that towel around your breasts, I said, what am I looking at?
Because I'm working them. I'm working them out.
Okay. Yeah, so it's been a hot couple of days, but we have rain for the next 7 days.
Which I don't mind.
I'm going to tell you something about this city. I'm going to say
What?
I'm going to say something. This city's not what people crack it up to be. Okay.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's because you expect to live on Hollywood Boulevard in Montreal.
Can I finish a thought? It's that, okay. We get maybe a solid 3 months of decent weather.
No.
Okay. So again,
Finish your
no,
thought.
I know, but let me. Okay. Oh my God, let me. That's the Mel Robbins theory.
We know. Go.
Oh, she just came out with a beautiful podcast about like a summer reset. I'll send you the episode. It's really good. We get maybe solid 3 months, beginning of June-ish to the end of August. Last year, and I clocked it because I like to now understand what type of city I'm living in. I was wearing a sweater by August 25th. Okay.
Oh,
and no,
wow.
and I was cold, and I have a video in my phone playing with the dogs. I don't know who I was talking to, and I was saying, my God, it is freezing. Okay. So we get 3 solid months of
Summer.
summer. That means we get 9 months of on and off. We get at least 6 months of the most heinous weather.
Yeah.
We get 3 other months of cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot.
Mm-hmm.
We pay the highest taxes.
Mm-hmm.
We have potholes that I can fall into. And I'm a big boy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have to tell you something after. And there's another issue in this city that I won't dive into right now. But Montreal, I'm sorry, it's just not what it's cracked up to be.
It's because we're just not feeling impressed lately.
It's been a couple of years.
First of all, I want to say something about the weather.
Yeah, okay, go.
You know where you're living. You know what province, what
But
country you live
don't
in.
you find, no, I have to be.
Move to Florida.
No, never.
See
No.
what happens.
No, actually, I'm going to give you guys an update on my health.
Yes, sweeties.
I just finished on the Montreal topic. Don't you find that this winter was the longest winter?
The longest.
The longest. And last summer was all rain, and it's looking like that's what it's going to be again.
No, I don't think so. I think now we're gonna have a longer summer. It's gonna go into the end of September, even early October.
No,
Yeah.
the
wanna
line to
bet?
yourself. Bet.
Bet.
What?
What?
What do you want to bet? $20.
$100,000?
Okay, I'm down. $20.
$300?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That you're saying the summer is gonna go into what? End of October?
No, I didn't say end of October.
okay,
I said
sorry.
end of September, the beginning of October. Bet.
$300. Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Sweeties, you
Yeah.
saw this?
So the first
Ow, that hurt.
sorry, the first week of October, you're expecting sunshine.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. A couple of things. So
What else happened this week?
I went to the hospital because, as we know, Florida. I feel like Florida killed a version of myself.
I really think so.
Yeah,
man.
really did a number on me. And I went to the ER. Still, first of all, do you guys get bruised by your blood work? I never did, and now I do. And you know why? And I'm going to say why. Because I think every time I get a nurse, it's like a practicing nurse, like a new nurse. You know where he wanted to do my blood?
Where?
My hands.
Yeah, that
I said,
they do
I'm
that.
sorry, I don't do heroin. So he's I hate these mics. He's doing this. And me, I'm thinking, interesting. And I'm quite veiny. Like, they don't really have a problem finding my veins, but he's doing it. He goes, okay. And he's starting to alcohol rub here. I go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm going to take your blood. I said, where? He goes,
On your
here on
hand.
this vein. I said, sir, I'm telling you now, I don't mind needles. You're not putting a fucking needle in my hand. I said, don't worry. It's quite veiny here. 5 minutes later. And I'm convinced either I'm anemic, which I'm sure would have came up in my blood work,
I think so.
but I get bruised now every time I do blood work. I leave home like I just did a shot on St. Catherine.
This pod, Paulo,
It's
since
killing
we-
me.
Since we started,
It's
killing you. Eh?
Yeah, it's killing
You
me.
have been reborn 12 times.
Unbelievable. So I waited the 12. I went to Verdun Hospital. I have to say something about Verdun Hospital. Ever since I got my vertigo, I've been going, I'm going to shout out to Verdun Hospital. Can you sponsor us? I went to Verdun Hospital.
yeah.
I went, and because I have vertigo and because I had just got off a plane, I don't know why you laugh at health.
Because every time you say vertical, you have to picture him on FaceTime on the toilet bowl with his
My
brace.
neck break. But I don't have like the cute kind of vertigo where it's like, oh, the room spins a bit and I have to sit down and it's gone. No, I have vestibular vertigo. Okay. It means my vagus nerve, my neck nerves, everything is all out of joint. Okay. And
It's just all too much.
it is. Because I had just got off a plane from Florida, they took me very seriously.
Yeah.
I went to go get a CT scan right away of my head. And because I have the vertigo, I usually have to do one once a year.
Okay,
A CT
okay.
scan or an MRI. They want to see if everything is sort of. I did a CT scan. I did a heart ultrasound where he's like, everything was good. Now, my blood pressure, first time in my 37 years, quite high.
Wow.
Quite high, which I don't love. And I took it again yesterday at a pharmacy. I was going by some lip gloss. And I was like, oh, you know what? Let me go sit. You know those things you sit down? Same thing. It was quite high. I'm like, I don't like that.
I wonder what
it is. I mean, maybe the caffeine or the cigarettes is contributing to all this or the lack of sleep. But even in all my years of drinking coffee and smoking, I've never had high blood pressure. Now, my whole family does, eh? They're all on pills. I'm like, I am not going to get on pills. So I started like Googling what foods, what exercise we're going to see.
I think
in a week's time, if I still have that type of high blood pressure, I'm going to have to call my family doctor.
I think with getting older, it's like it's required of us to, even if the things we've done when we were younger,
Yeah.
it's requiring us to change some of our habits.
a lot.
A lot of the things that I
Yeah.
used to consider healthy then, I need to amp up right now.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm drinking enough water. I have enough vegetables. No, now I need to
You need
fucking
to
increase
yeah,
everything.
I agree.
You know what
agree.
I mean?
So that's it. Conclusion, I was fine-ish. I was fine. They just said that the sun sort of maybe ignited something in my vestibular system.
Killed you, Paul.
Yeah, and they said like, what was your longest sort of episode of a vertigo? And I said it was a month. They said, well, maybe expect that.
Wow.
So I'm still sort of like in the juice, but I'm better.
Yeah.
And we're great. I did my blood work. I did everything. We're good. And thank you to Verdun Hospital for making me feel. I waited 12 hours, but still 12 hours. I got CT scan, heart ultrasound, blood work, urine work, this, that, whatever.
We
Oh, they did find a little bit of blood in my urine,
okay.
but they always do. And this doctor was like, hey, I'm actually looking at your test, and we always find this micro dose of blood. He goes, you're going to have to go see a urologist. Called me the next day, and I have an appointment July 7th.
Wow.
Sometimes, our medical system is broken. It really is. Like,
Yeah.
people shouldn't be dying in waiting rooms. The wait time is absurd. But, when you catch the good doctors,
Yeah.
the good nurses, because, yes, hopefully they're good all around, but there are some rotten apples.
Yeah.
But when you catch those good ones that really look at you and say, you know what, if you're telling me you feel this, let's go and do X, Y, and Z.
Good. I'm
So I was
happy it's
happy,
like
yeah.
accelerating and it's going quicker.
Yeah, I was happy.
Okay,
And that's
good.
it. Your week? All good, right? Oh, you've had a week.
I've
You've had a week, yeah.
Yeah.
You've been busy.
It's also there's something to say about like working in creative fields,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna be really honest on the topic of vulnerability. I mean, we'll get into loneliness, but like there's something that happens to I consider an artist once you put your baby out into the world.
Mm.
There's this like this heaviness, this not sorrow, not down, but like I felt so empty ever since the releasing of my collection.
Mm.
So proud, so excited, so happy of what's been happening with the outpour of comments, the purchasing. It's amazing. But I've been feeling very like, my God, no energy. And I recall watching so many documentaries on like, my God, Alexander McQueen, on Marc Jacobs, on John Galliano, so many designers that at the end of a collection, they're wiped out. And that can bring on like depression, or like you feel so, you're constantly with people developing, creating, doing that. The second this happens, you feel very alone, so to speak. And I think it's the first time I felt this.
One of your first collections to do that to you.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's the first time I feel like alone in the sense of like, my God, there was so much work to be done. And all of a sudden, like not crickets in the world, but just like myself.
Yourself, yeah, because I feel like maybe it took you what, 3 years,
3 years
Anthony
to
DiCaprio?
build and develop this. Yeah.
So I feel the 3 years of constant like energy giving to this project, and on meetings,
Weekly, Paula.
yeah, I know, on meetings, on phone calls, on this, on design things, and finally when it's out, and yes, outpour lovely,
Yeah.
purchasing great, whatever,
My
but you
God.
almost feel like, wow, like the creative juice in me has now finally like exuded to the world, and now I feel a little like whoosh, a little like alone. Can I say?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I know my habits. I sleep a lot when I feel lonely-ish, or like,
Mm.
I don't want to use the word depressed. I think that's a grander topic.
Yeah,
I don't
of
want to
course,
use
yeah.
just, I know we use that
Well,
term
there's-
around really quickly, like
Yeah.
really whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I've been sleeping like crazy
Mm.
because of this.
Mm.
But wow, a first.
Okay. Well, you know who to call, you know where to lean, you know what to do.
Yeah.
But I also feel like it's quite normal,
And
right?
and because you were like, Ant, let's talk about loneliness. I was like, wow, we've dabbled on in our lives with so many aspects of loneliness, being
Mhm.
alone and whatnot.
Mhm.
But this was the first time I felt this.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's get into it.
Okay, yeah, let's get into it. We did our weeks.
Yeah,
We hope
we're
you guys had a
good.
great week.
He's
Well,
alive. I've been sleeping.
yeah, we're trying to live. So yeah, the reason why I wanted to talk about this and wanted to dedicate a whole discussion to this is because this week, for the first time in a very long time, because I'm very secure in myself, in my single life, was the first time I think maybe spending 12 hours at the hospital and doing this. And, I was just like, oof. I
You
was
felt
like,
alone?
I said, I think I'm a little lonely.
Shit.
And no,
That's
and it,
real.
yeah, and it didn't like overcome me. It didn't make me feel sort of sad that I didn't have anybody. That's not what was starting to happen. What was starting to happen was like everything in my life I'm so grateful for. I'm so immensely proud of.
You have so much around you.
Oh my God. I mean, we'll dive into that sort of later on, but the friendships, the family relationship, I mean, those fill me truly more than a relationship has ever had. And maybe because I never had one of the greatest relationships or the loves that I'm maybe looking and yearning for.
But being at the hospital, you're like,
I was like, oh, wow. Like, and you offered to come. Jade had offered to come. My mom was like, hey, do you want me to come? And I was like, no, I'm okay. And it was like, oh, like I'm missing that phone call of like your partner saying, I'll be there in 5 minutes kind of thing. You know what I mean? And it did make me start thinking, hold on. Okay. I've been single now for 2 years. And I was like, and it never popped up in these 2 years. It's never popped up that I've been lonely or I'm sad that I'm not in a relationship or da da da. And I'm like, okay, I've been single for 2 years. Is it that I'm feeling society's pressure of, okay, I'm at the hospital for 12 hours. Is it that a partner is supposed to come? Is it that I'm supposed to go home after a hospital appointment and wait for a partner to say, how did it go? So it was, and then it started to make me think relationship loneliness. Okay. Because I have had and I don't even mean to be sort of woe is me, but I've had really awful relationships.
So you're comparing to when you were seated at the hospital
Yeah.
and you were feeling lonely at that moment as a single person,
Mhm.
you're now starting to get not triggered, but you're thinking of the times that you were with somebody and you felt lonely.
Even
then.
more lonely than that moment.
Oof.
Okay.
Talk about like putting things into perspective.
Exactly. And that's what I like to do. Anytime I sort of like overthink things, I like to reel in and I like to look at things in perspective.
Not fully, not to compare.
No,
but
never
just
to
be like,
compare. Just
hey,
just to sort of even out what I'm feeling.
like imagine like, hey, you're feeling something similar right now, but don't forget you have felt worse or ultra lonely when you were even with somebody.
Exactly. So it did make me start thinking, okay, I'd love to dive into a discussion about the single life
Yeah.
and people who have been maybe in not so great relationships or who have felt even more lonely than being single. So here we are.
Here we are.
So here we are. And that's sort of where I would like to start this conversation is that we've both been in long-term relationships. Both have not been in the greatest of relationships. Can you pinpoint any time you've been in a relationship where you have a partner,
Yeah.
long-term, short-term, whatever, one of the situations where you're supposed to feel safe and comforted that you felt lonely?
Yes.
You have the floor.
Sweeties, let me tell you
Can
something.
I tell you something? Just on a lighter note. When we laugh at the same time and the way the mics pick it up, it makes me piss my pants.
I know.
Yeah. We have such an obnoxious like
But this is how we laugh.
I know.
Um,
So can you pinpoint in relationships where you felt lonely?
you know, there was a time when I was with somebody
Mm-hmm.
and it had been like the third go around with this person.
Okay.
And this time around, I was like, this is it. It's going to work.
It's gonna
now.
work.
Time has passed. Healed. You've done work. I've done work. It only made sense to me that it would all come together. And then all of a sudden, bit by bit, I found myself feeling, and to the fault of myself, I started feeling very much secluded, like alone, not looking to like make plans with friends, very much at home all the time while this person was out living their life. But I felt very alone. And I think that's because of the energy that was being exchanged. And I remember sitting on the couch once, Paulo, like it was actually raining outside, just like today. There was no TV on, there was no music. I was literally sitting on the couch and I was like, fuck, I don't feel good. And I feel very much alone. And I knew if I called this person like to talk, I knew he wasn't gonna answer.
Mm-hmm.
I called, no answer.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's heightened, this feeling I'm feeling.
Because
And-
you're feeling abandoned.
Abandoned.
Yeah.
But it's like, but you have all these friends, Anthony. You have all this. And at that time, I was going through a little bit of a reshifting of friendships.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm not going to call the friends that I don't fuck with anymore.
Yeah. That you would normally maybe
Yeah.
call in situations like this.
So I'm
yeah.
like, wow, you're actually going to stay home and you're going to feel this through
All on your own.
all on my own.
Mm.
And I remember in that moment, I was like, I'm with somebody. I shouldn't be feeling this. Yes, I have so many things that I can do on my own to get me out of this loneliness. But when you're not with the right person and you feel this, you need to break this. You need to get out of it.
Mm. Yeah.
Could you imagine sitting on a couch? Picture the camera lens zooming in and I'm just like this. Swear to you, literally like that, like, wow, I'm alone. I don't feel good.
And don't you find, I mean, and hopefully no one has to go through a situation. Hopefully like your relationships are healthy and fulfilling and all that. But imagine being in a relationship and telling yourself, wow, I'm alone. Like I'm alone in this.
And Paulo, more than alone in this, actually. I'm lonely in this.
Yeah.
Have you?
Well, listen, I have to say, you know,
Like, not to compare right now, but like, have you literally, like, apple per apple? Apple per apple?
for apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you
You want
felt?
apple pie? Love apple pie.
Love
man.
apple pie? Eh? I would
With vanilla ice
love-
cream. And you know, I want to
Hot or cold apple pie?
hot apple pie, cold ice cream.
Okay.
Yeah, love that.
Okay.
Um,
Have you felt like, I guess, similar to what I just explained? Like that it's very, the quietness is very loud.
loud. Well, I have to say, listen, I've been in 3 long-term relationships, and they've all had sort of their ups and downs. There was one relationship of mine where the loneliness was like palpable.
Shit.
And it was one of those situations where now looking back, like now sometimes when you sort of take yourself out of a situation like that, you can look at it third party. For me, it was a very mentally abusive relationship. It was just a lot of gaslighting, a lot of sort of making me believe things that weren't really real, a lot of deflecting, a lot of that. I remember there was 2 times that and this was quite a long relationship, but I'm going to give you 2 perspectives that I was like, this is not good. And
And these are times that you felt this loneliness.
this
Cupid?
real heaviness, this heavy loneliness that I was like, I should not be feeling this
What
lonely
happened?
in a partnership. They both happened on New Year's Eve. And you know, I find like these parties and these grandiose things around that time. And for me, I do get very sensitive around these things. Okay.
Yeah, because you try to give it the meaning that everyone claims it has.
And then I love,
Yeah.
and that I love.
And I
Right?
want it
Christmas,
too.
you know me. Like, I'm
Yeah.
Santa Claus.
Yeah.
You know, this house, it looks like the North Pole threw up on it.
Yeah.
I love to create moments and memories for everybody. Like, even when I do little things for the friends, I want them to like go back home and like remember a memory, right? So it was early on into this relationship. We were at New Year's Eve, and this person completely ditched me for a bunch of like younger, sort of like,
so
we're at a hall. Let's say.
I was say you're at a venue.
Yeah.
And,
And
within the friends.
I don't know really anybody because it's his side of the family-ish party, whatever. And I completely got ditched to the point where it was like 11 o'clock. I snuck out. I took a cab back home.
Wow. Paulo, what year was this?
I want to say it was like 2000. I don't want to say that because
Fine.
you know.
Because I literally had a similar New Year's like this 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was fucking New Year's, and I felt the exact same loneliness.
I
Keep
left.
going.
Yeah, I left.
You
and
left, eh?
So I left and I went home and I waited up for this person to come back home. Comes back home,
But-
drunk.
But Paulo, when you left, did he notice?
No.
Like there was a text?
There was nothing. There was really nothing. And he had came home and, you know, obviously I'm upset and and we start sort of arguing and I start crying. Okay. So at this point I'm in like another room and I start crying, but I'm crying to myself. Like at this point, the fight was over.
Yeah, you're not feeling good.
I'm just like watching TV and I'm crying, but you can hear me crying. Like you can hear me crying. And I remember from the room, I'll never forget this for some reason. And I feel like sometimes trauma-based things stay with you. And I'll never forget that he said, like, can you quiet down? For me crying. Okay. I was like, oh, like I'm alone. Like I'm alone. I'm really supposed to lean on this person. You know, already the situation that had happened of getting abandoned at this venue of really no one I really knew when I could have spent New Year's with my family and I could have like, you know, and I was like, okay, I'm alone. Like, okay. And listen, like I said, there was a lot of elements of that relationship where I really, really did not feel
but
good.
this is clearly such a loud
It was one of those, yeah.
Because of the day.
Yeah, because of the day, the lack of empathy, the lack of caring, the lack of, I'm your partner, you know what I mean? So that was one. Finally, shift over, let's say 2 New Years later, okay? And that was like the end of it all. And I had to work. because I work in a business where it's 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
I had to do 11 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Okay, you did the night shift. You passed New Year's. Fine.
So I had to do New Year's by myself. And he saw that I was down all day about it. I really didn't want this shift, but I don't know, someone was sick. If I took this shift, they were going to give me a week off. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll do it. I don't like working Christmas. I work in hospitality. So
Fine. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a 365 day a year. So I could work at any whim of a holiday.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, we were really going through like a rough patch, like a real rough patch. And I said to myself, if he does not make an effort at like midnight to either
Call you.
come see me, come see me,
Come see me.
call me,
FaceTime me.
something. 12 o'clock had passed. Our friend Anthony had called Jade. 12:07. I'll never forget it because it was like a defining moment. I got a text, Happy New Year. I said, it's over. It was New Year's Day. I went back home at 7 a.m.
After your shift.
He was up and we had the conversation. I said, this is not going to work anymore. Yeah. I said, this is something I go, and that's where I really felt to myself, wow, like I'm supposed to be in this long-term loving relationship and I've never been so alone.
Well, because this is what they say. What we say, what we believe, what we've seen in movies, in TV shows, and even within our friends and family. Like, it can't be I'm gonna feel loneliest when I'm with somebody.
Yeah, it was one of those defining moments where I really said to myself, okay, so what society sort of feeds you of the perfect relationship, and even if it's bad, sort of stay in it because what's the alternative? Being alone? Yeah. That's the alternative.
You have this moment of New Year's, and I had the exact same thing, Paulo.
Did you? It was okay.
This is what's crazy because like we're similar on these things, right?
Oh, I'm very much that, eh?
Hey, because I want to feel what everyone's jabbering about, like New Year's, right? With your partner.
Yeah.
And I remember having New Year's for the first time ever with this person, and I was so excited. It looked a certain way in my mind, you know? Dancing and drinks and dancing together and laughing. You have your best friend. I'm going to bring a friend of mine. Let's do this together. But it was in a place that was so familiar to him. He had worked there. He knew the staff, which I thought was a perk and a plus.
Yeah.
But like all he cared about was being with the staff, helping the staff.
A show dog.
Working behind the bar. And then there was a new person training. I'm going to help him train. And I remember looking at him and I said, it is New Year's Eve, our first, and you're deciding to help the busboy? I don't care if you've worked here for 10 years. This moment is supposed to feel and supposed to be the most exciting for us. And yet you have to fight me on it. And of course, because once something erupts, it just keeps getting bigger.
Of course.
And we were arguing. And I remember leaving and I'm like, it can't be. The first New Year's, I felt alone because I remember like I was with my friend. I wasn't feeling it. And I remember sitting on that couch with a drink in my hand. I'm like, but I hate this.
Yeah, no, I know. And and that's what what spawned in me in those moments, because a lot, and again, this is not about like, woe is me, whatever. Those situations of me sort of tearing up because I am quite sensitive. I'm quite tough, whatever, but the people pleaser in me, stemming from my father and all that when I'm trying and I'm not getting it back, I almost overcompensate and I overtry. And it's like, I want everything to be okay.
Yeah.
And I want I want peace and I want that. And it's like, that old saying, it's like, well, you want peace at what expense?
At what cost?
Yeah. Those situations of like me sort of tearing up and getting asked to sort of like shut up or calm down happen quite a bit. And that makes me then overanalyze, even now as a single person, that the choices you make when lonely. And
you just said something right before, I feel like I know what you're about to say, but like y'all hyped up what it's like to be with somebody.
Yeah.
And I had to choose. I'm choosing that feeling, or what's better than being alone?
Exactly.
Than being single.
And that's what
then apparently, yes, I would rather choose that.
And that's what was starting to happen to me. And that's sort of what I kind of want to say is that a lot of chances I could have left and said, this is not for me. This is not how I want to feel. This is a relationship.
Paulo, hope makes you stay.
No, but I chose to stay of the fear of not being alone. Okay.
But that's what we chose.
Exactly. You chose toxicity. You chose,
And you weren't alone, technically.
but the fear, not the fear, this abandonment issue, this sort of toxicity. And I feel like, again, I'm never one to blame your childhood on everything,
No,
but there are elements that creep in as you get older of the
100%.
choices you make. And why am I doing this? Why am I staying with someone who's so not for me? Fuck it. A blind person could have seen that wasn't for me.
But now you have a reference of what it's like to be single and
I
not ever
feel-
feel that loneliness ever
Well,
again.
and I say it all the time. It's like, now I know what I don't want.
Yeah.
It's very easy to know what you do want, because you want love, you want this, but I definitely know what I don't want. But again, the fear of, look at the choices you made in a very bad relationship, both of us, out of the fear
Of
of
being
being alone,
single.
you know?
No, at least I'm with somebody. I'm gonna make this work. We're really gonna
Exactly.
fight.
Okay. That's
Not
it.
everything's perfect.
Exactly.
You know what? When something is shit, it's shit.
And I have to say, like, yeah, not everything's perfect, but not everything should be that hard.
No, I know.
Not everything should be, when something is really hard and you're really trying at something, that situation is not for you, mama. It's not for you. It's time for you to do what's best for you.
And listen, I think being single and lonely, like I'm like you. I have a reference of being single and feeling fantastic.
Yeah.
And there's been, maybe it's in the recent years where I think as we're getting older too, that it's like you at the hospital, you were feeling this. Other moments where we're like,
Yeah.
I guess I'm lonely this time around.
Yeah.
And I would like somebody, but I don't want that anymore.
No,
I'm not going back to that.
There's
for the sake of being with somebody.
My gut is so instinctual now that, like, even like on the little dates I've been on, and the second and I'm not one to like sort of write off anyone at the littlest thing, but the second I clock like a real red flag, I'm like, no, because I know what this is going to turn into years down the line. You know what I mean?
Ask you, are you, as a single person, are you making decisions for dating, for hooking up? Is there
based
something
off loneliness?
Is there an influence from that? And what type of decisions get made in the end?
I will say, I'm not much of a dater, but in terms of the hookup culture, I will say, at least for myself, there have been times where periodically I've hooked up a lot. Let's say there's a month where I'm like hooking up every day. Okay. I can then see it's because I'm yearning for something. I am looking for something. I am sort
obviously.
of wanting something that I don't have in my everyday life.
Companionship, touch, something intimate.
Something, that's it. Exactly. Really companionship.
Yeah.
Because listen, again, my friends and my family fill my cup thus over.
Yeah.
Like, I can't ask for better. I
know.
really can't. And that's why I don't get down and out of myself. Like, I don't have a relationship. Because again, I've said it all the time and I'll keep saying it. I swear I would rather be dead and buried than settle for what I settled for.
Yeah, never
I'm going to
again.
say that, like, and like I said, my cup runneth over with all these people, but there's this element of, okay, but am I supposed to be feeling more from someone else? Like, are my friends giving me what maybe a companionship can give you? Like, you know what I mean?
I don't even think it's more. I think it's just that it's different.
It's different.
It's these little assets that friends can't give.
Yeah.
And that's normal.
Yeah, that's it.
I think it's normal to yearn for that.
And there is something that I do say to myself, and it's not like, again, a woe is me. It's that maybe it's like I'm just unlucky in love. Maybe I'm very lucky in life.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm not very lucky in romantic love.
But it's like, even that, Paulo,
Yeah.
I don't want to ride that off.
No, I don't want to write it off
because
either.
what? Because we're 38 now. It's like
No, and we're not like dead and gone, right? And I've heard of the most beautiful stories of finding your partners later
on.
And again, it goes back to like I got very lucky. A lot of relationships I see around me are very healthy.
Yeah.
They're very healthy. But there's been some that I'm like, okay, I'm like, I would rather stay single, find someone later on in life than just say, well, I've been with this person for 20 years.
I can clock the loneliness in numerous
someone?
amount of individuals and couples or partnerships together from afar. I can see them and I
Well, the couples that fight in front of you, the couples that this, the couple that that.
but even you see the way they go about some things, I'm like, this person is so lonely. She lost that human connection with the person she decided to do this life with. And that's very sad. And I wish for them to fill their own cup at some point.
Yeah.
But like, you can sense that loneliness sometimes, and it's like, man, what a shame.
It's true. It is. I do feel bad for when I see people in relationships and I'm like, fuck, you're not happy. And what is it? Is it that you're just scared of what life is gonna look like outside of this? That you're alone and that, like, you know what I mean?
Growing up Italian, somebody to tell you, oh, you're
my-
this age and you're still not married.
My God.
Well, my God, like,
Don't you find? And I really have to say, okay, we're gay. Duh, you're gay.
unbelievable.
I'm crazy. First of all, I'm wearing the World Cup.
Canada threw up on you today.
Oh
huh?
my God, I'm so excited. We did it. We drew a tie, but
Were we gonna
I'm really
ask
into it this year.
Oh,
yeah,
go.
I'm really into it. No, what I was gonna say to you is that, yeah, see,
you
I
lost the train of thought
Yeah.
because you want to talk about Canada soccer.
so excited for them. But what I was gonna say to you is that we're gay in Italian. Shocker, right? Don't you find you get more of a of saying that you're alone to family members other than saying that you're gay? So imagine being alone, being not alone, being not in a romantic
relationship.
partnership, it causes more pause for people to be like, wow, okay, you're 38.
But how come?
Yeah,
you're still
like
single?
instead of like something that you would think, like,
I'm sorry, I
I
dated
sucked
fucking.
Tony's cock, like that.
Sorry, I dated a narcissist. You want me to get married?
That's it. But because they have
Yeah,
that, and especially
We're
all
not,
of-
Paulo.
Yeah, no,
I'm
no,
not.
I'm not. But again, if you notice a lot of these like older ladies, like, oh, like you're 38. It's like, it just happened to me a month ago. I'm not even joking. I was working. I recognized someone I knew. Dada, how are you? Dada? You're seeing someone? I'm like, no, like, oh, so you haven't really seen someone since your last one? I said, yeah, I go by on
Here
and
and
off. I go, it's like, I got 2 years. I'm like single. They're like, oh. And I know her history with like her husband. And I'm like, yeah. I looked at her and I go, everything okay?
You good?
Yeah. I said, you okay? And she goes, no. She goes, oh, no, because, this one got married. This one got married. Like, well, it just really hasn't been in the cards with me. And I really haven't found the right person that I would like to get married to.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay. And I'm thinking to
So
myself,
I would have been fuming.
crazy. But I'm just saying, what it garnered more of a reaction than something. I mean, even gay is not. I'm doing
Paulo,
it in
those are-
comparison.
Those
Do you know
are
what I mean?
Those are the types of comments that will trigger you as a single person to make unhealthy decisions being single and if you felt lonely.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. Now, we're both single. We've been single for a little bit now,
Yeah.
right? What are the unhealthy decisions and go-abouts you do because you're single?
I mean, so there's a few aspects of this.
Yeah.
You can date, but how are you dating?
Mm.
And how I would date when I was feeling lonely is I would over romanticize and fantasize about the situation.
Mm.
I mean, it wasn't all that in a bag of chips, babe. It was.
Don't you find
very,
a lot of single people do that because the yearning for that companionship makes you, it makes
Paulo,
you
you-
romanticize after the first date of what life could look like.
I know.
But were you ever, I was never like that. But now, like, okay, I've done it a couple of times and I'm like, Ma, I just met this person 6 hours ago.
Okay, are you ready for this?
I'm
Because
ready.
I clocked myself in the car with our friends on our way to brunch this weekend.
Okay.
And not that they were clocking me, no, at
No.
all. Actually, it was just something that was very apparent to me. I will romanticize something so much before it even gets a chance to be romanticized
Mhm.
because of my loneliness or because of the image I'm trying to think of it in my head. And I'm like, I was asked, like, are you going to put it in your carousel, in your Instagram? Paulo, I've done this. And I even told myself in that moment, I'm like,
But what was it? I don't know.
but for
You
instance,
had a picture with someone?
no, or
Oh.
like from a date, from a specific night out.
Oh,
or-
okay.
What do? Me, I will romanticize it. I'll put it in a carousel because it became real. It exists. No, DiCaprio, stop doing that.
Yeah. You do it like and because
And that's my loneliness that
yeah,
does this.
Yeah, and we've been like, now we've been fucking ta-ta-ta. We've been attached at the hip for 2 years.
Yeah.
You do
I do this.
You do that. It's when you're dating,
Oh.
you are you romanticize it. But again, I don't even and I've never
But
faulted you.
Paulo, no, but that is
It's
it happens because of certain loneliness.
but it's an
feelings.
unhealthy
Very.
trait because of the loneliness sometimes gets palpable. It really does.
Because
Me-
I too want to believe a certain scenario
tale.
or fairy tale,
Yeah, of
or
course.
the beginning of something.
Of course.
So my loneliness will make me over fantasize a situation
Yeah.
before it even is actually romantic.
Actualized. Yeah,
Okay?
exactly.
Actualized.
Yeah.
Or, and what you're mentioning about like the hookup culture.
Well, that's me. See, like you can notice that in me because you not clocked me, but people have been like, wow, you've been like on a rampage this month. You've had
But I always say, but well, you're single, you can do
no, I know, but like we have a mutual friend who like, holy fuck, like you hooked up 7 times in 7 days. I'm like, and I'll even say, I know, like I don't know what's going on, but I do know what's going on. Is that I'm feeling that's it, this lack of companionship, this lack of sort of intimacy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Paulo,
exactly.
the first time I've really slowed down on my hookup culture throughout the years.
Yeah, now I'm slowed down, but yeah,
Right?
It's just you'll see in points that I go crazy.
I've really slowed down on certain things, and I had a recent situation where I can tell how lonely I was, and not in a sad way, but just in a very evident where like I thought it was more of a romantic situation that was coming to me, of like sharing, of getting to know one another. And what happened, what normally always fucking happens, is like it couldn't stay there. It had to get into, there was sexual tension. It had to go there. And yeah, it was fucking good sex. But this person left and I was like, I don't want this anymore. Because now I'm re-feeling that loneliness.
That's
all
it.
over
Because
again.
now they're gone.
They're gone.
So
And
you got that high, you got that endorphins of sex and the hookup culture, and then they're gone, and you feel again a little empty. And you know, I wish our community, and I always say, you know, a lot of people like shame people for the hookup culture. I'm like, it is such a valuable part of our community. A lot of people are sexual repressed, right? A lot of people stay in the closet for a long time.
Yeah.
That's how they express themselves, whatnot. But we also have to be honest with ourselves. Is that like, and I felt that a lot too. There is a factor of loneliness that plays up, of emptiness, that when it's done, the deed is done. I came, you came, clean up, and the person's gone. You're sitting on the couch and you're not feeling the best.
No.
You know, sometimes you'll even go back on the app to see what other fix you can get, whatever. And we have to be honest that not a lot of this hookup culture, but there is a part of this hookup culture where I think people are doing it, myself included, because you are lacking something.
I'm going to say something. I think queer culture is much more in a rush to be in relationships, to do all these steps than I think hetero people are.
I could not. I mean, listen, there's always those jokes about lesbians, right? Like they date for 3 weeks and the U-Haul truck is outside.
But no, babe, I think we are this.
No, and I will say gay men as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it's this sort of like, is this ever going to happen again? Is this, it hasn't happened up to now. It's happening now. Should I dive into this now?
I've pushed a narrative on certain situations in my mind because I'm like, well, I'm 38 now. Because in my mind, when I was 30, I was already going to be with somebody for 10 years.
Yeah.
So as I kept getting older and I was...
that reality was...
by the way, I date, baby.
Yeah.
I date.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, I've never...
Oh, yeah, you do.
I've never had an issue with this.
Yeah.
But I was forcing these relationships or situationships when like they weren't good.
Yeah.
All to fulfill this fantasy of myself. Now, thank God, none of those worked. And I can clock the difference between loneliness and alone.
Yeah.
It's okay to feel...
And there is such a difference.
Yes. All this to say, I've really had to sit back with myself and clock myself to be like, Anthony, pay attention to what your loneliness will do. And yes, I'll always say I love to date. I'm a hopeless romantic. But sometimes I'm like, you're forcing these situations that will bring you absolute nothing. Frankly, they'll take away from your core, your essence, your energy, who you are as a person. And no wonder sometimes you can sit back and you're a little bit angry. Sometimes I'm like, I just gave my time to this person or situation. No, it could have been spent elsewhere.
Yeah. And
I spent money. I wasted time. I didn't sleep. I didn't go to the gym. And there's so many positive things that we can do when we're fucking feeling lonely.
yeah, 100%.
Sweeties, it's that segment.
You're weird.
Paulo, what's your weird of the week?
Okay, my weird of the week. Talking about loneliness, couples, whatever, the whole thing. I have to say something because it's about 3 times now. Ladies, okay? You got to stop babying your men, okay?
Go.
Hold on. Yes. Okay. You guys stop babying your men. I had just come into an encounter where the husband couldn't toast his toast. Couldn't
Exhausted.
couldn't boil his egg. So I'm gonna tell you something. If you can't take a piece of bread, put it in the toaster, turn on a boiling pot of water, shove an egg in there, and then you can't accomplish that,
You're weird, eh?
I don't know if you should be here in the first place.
That's what you
That's
choose to do life with?
You're weird, bro. You can't
weird.
toast and slap some Kraft peanut butter on it. I just want to say, ladies, I know, and you know, especially
Not
for
impressed, huh?
the Italian women, I know, you know, we grew up with our moms who did everything, and maybe you have to sort of resemble or symbolize it, and you know, and women are innate in that, and thank God, women are much better, but when
boys-
your husband can't boil an egg, you have a problem. And not so much on I don't want to blame the ladies. You gentlemen,
Yeah.
you got a problem.
You're fucking weird.
You're weird.
I had a friend.
Okay.
My weird is, it's so funny, eh? We were at a grocery store
Okay.
and she was on the phone with her husband and she kept like talking like this. And we had plans that night. She's like, oh, I can't come. I'm like, why? She's like, he doesn't know what to make for dinner for the kids. I said, excuse me? You're fucking weird.
You're weird.
You don't know how to boil pasta and make your kids a nice little tomato sauce?
Or even, I mean, okay, let's say.
Paulo, that's not hard.
No, I know, and
babe.
it's not. And let's just say you don't know how to pick up a phone call Pizza Hut. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, your wife
has to go
has
home.
to mother you on top of being your wife.
You're fucking
You're weird, bro.
huh?
And just to fucking turn it all into you're alone. I would rather be alone
Yeah.
than having to fucking mother someone. That's it.
You're fucking weird.
You're weird. Sort of piggybacking on what you were saying is that, so like most of us in our like friend group are quite single, right? If I'm
Kind of.
I mean, a lot of like the girls are not, like none of the straight
us as-
girls are
us
not.
gays,
Us,
as
yeah,
queer,
are
yeah.
like, yeah. And I will say what I do appreciate about us is that like not every conversation revolves around the dates we've been on.
Man.
The yearning of like this or all like, you know, there's a scene in Sex and the City where Miranda like freaks out. At one point.
loses it.
She goes like, is it possible that we're like 30-something-year-old women and like all we could talk about are boys? And like I appreciate that about this group is that there's like this fun, because I feel like you can fall into that trap. You can fall into only talking about what you don't have instead of talking about what you do have, you know, out of life and the friendships and all that. So, but what I will say is that we have to be very honest with ourselves that we do make very terrible decisions based off loneliness. We really do. The chronic loneliness starts sitting in. You start almost romanticizing these bad people of your past. It starts happening. Okay.
It just happened to me.
It
It
did.
just happened to me where something happened. Okay. And thank God I'm so well surrounded by my good Judies. Love you.
Love you.
Okay. Something happened recently
Mm.
where somebody from the past that we know is not for me,
Yeah, we know.
but in a different light.
Yeah.
And on a
Yeah.
Sunday
And
night,
tricking your brain.
on a Sunday night at 7 p.m., you may look at life a little bit differently, right? At the hospital, wishing you were with somebody, and somebody does something that triggers you. And I was like, oh, maybe they were the one. Damn. Maybe I miss him. And then you sit with that. And then all of a sudden, you feel this dark ass cloud over you. And I'm like, why am I feeling so garbage when nothing's happened? This is what even thoughts can do to you. And the second we
They can
spoke
make you
about
believe
it,
something.
the second we spoke about it, the second I clocked it, I started feeling better again. And it's like, so no, it's okay if you feel lonely. It's okay if it's really okay.
Sit in it. Yeah,
Sit in it?
sit in it.
And be it. It's okay.
But
Do positive things.
100%. But again, don't blame yourself because that's what loneliness does. It'll even make you believe the most narcissistic, toxic relationship you once had.
No.
Oh, well, maybe it wasn't all that bad.
No, are you kidding? Oh, I guess I'm blocked because he doesn't want to see me. Frankly, you don't want to see me happy. Baby, you're not my person.
Yeah,
'Cause even if
100%.
we are not together and I'm supposed to be all that in a bag of chips,
Yeah.
You should be happy for other people.
So me too. There's little 100. I agree with you on that. There's little parts sometimes when the loneliness hits.
Yeah,
right?
it hits
and
you.
it hits. You could be watching 27 Dresses with Katherine Heigl, and you could be like, you know what I mean? Like you could.
Will and Grace, whatever.
Yeah, oh God, I'm on a rampage with Will and Grace right now.
I know you are.
Or you're watching one of the most saddest I just watched Brokeback Mountain, and I'm like, I gotta go to the woods. I gotta go to the woods and find him.
I watched it for the first time ever. I watched it as if I was watching it for the first time ever, like this.
Yeah, no, me too. It was the other night. Yeah, I paper towel next to me crying.
It's not normal.
Can't afford Kleenex. But okay, so it happens sometimes. So there's two relationships that I always one, what I would say the mentally abusive one, and one when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
My other longest one was with, and I mentioned that in our Eternal Homophobia video, was with a DL guy. Okay.
Yeah.
But actually it was a really beautiful relationship. Okay. And I had good times, and we really we still talk to this day. It just like our lives could never sort of marry
together.
like that. Okay.
Did you feel lonely in that one?
I didn't. You know, there was fights about, internal homophobia and what life would have brought. But I went into that knowing his situation.
Fine.
So, but it's beautiful. We really respect each other and all that. But the mentally abusive one and my 20s one. So my 20s one is, I always go back to it, and and it's okay. Like I have no problem. I always go back to it as, that was the first time I really felt deep in love. Like really, like even to this day. And
so you've experienced love before.
Oh,
Paulo.
really? On a grand scale. I really did. But, and it's what I reference to this day. It's hard for me to get out of that box sometimes,
I understand.
Yeah. And it's perfectly normal. And
that.
I don't beat myself up for it. But at the last 6 months of that relationship was heinous. It was cheating, like chronic cheating on his end. I don't care. It was chronic cheating on his. So imagine, even sometimes I'll talk to you, I'll talk to Jade, I'll talk to whatever. I'm like, but I'll never feel like love like that again. And she goes, cheat on you 3 times.
I know.
3 times. And I'm like, oh my God, you have to be brought back.
Yeah, it's not that you forget.
No,
It's
you
just-
don't forget, but you have to be brought back because you're lonely and you're almost remembering only the good times. Now, the mentally abusive one, which whatever, there was one thing he used to do that was so nice. Okay. He used to kiss my forehead before leaving in the morning. And imagine, there was one time about last year, I was watching a movie. I'm like, that was so nice. That was so nice.
The one thing.
The one thing, almost, I would have never
No, but just to
my
say,
body rejects even thinking of him. I'm being quite honest.
I know.
Okay.
But you look back on the one thing that you like.
one little thing that I was like, oh, and then I'm thinking to myself, oh, no, don't even start romanticizing bad behavior. Okay, so the episode premise was pros and cons.
Yes.
I feel like we've honed the con of being lonely, and there are cons to it, and that's okay to admit to ourselves. But I would love to end the discussion on the pros.
Yes, let's talk about all the good things that
you can
do or you do.
And what you self-realize when you are single.
Okay.
You want to take the floor?
One thing I like to do as a single person, and when I feel a bit of that loneliness, I literally now have activated myself to stand up, and I'm like, I need to do something. So I get up and I go to the gym.
Okay.
Regardless of the time. It does happen to be very late at night lately. And it's so funny, like, you're going to the gym very late. You're going to the gym very late lately. I'm like, yes, because I'm lonely.
Yeah.
And I go to the gym and I have a great time. I come back home and I feel amazing.
I love, first of all, I love how honest you are. I really do. I love how vulnerable you get on this. I love how honest you are.
Because I don't feel like crying right now, eh?
No, I'm not going to make you cry. I'm just saying that you put out this perception of yourself, and it's true. There's an element of that that's very true of, you're very confident, you're very driven, you're very that, but you're in touch with your emotions. And I love that this pod is bringing that out.
So much.
Yeah, I love that people are getting to know another side of you. I feel like if you watch my Instagram, you kind of know that I'm all over the place. It's very work driven and fashion forward and very this. And I like that it's bringing up, because I like what you just said there. It's okay to say, yeah, I'm going to the gym because I'm a little lonely, because sometimes we do like to maybe suppress that part. We don't want to admit certain
I've tried
things,
to
right?
suppress that.
And for me, the biggest pro about being single, the big is really the self-realization I have within myself is that I could do anything,
Oh, you want?
anything. No, but and I can achieve anything I want with or without a partner.
Yeah.
Like I have big plans for you and I, and for this and that, and there's gonna be nobody that is gonna get in the way of that.
I know. That's quite powerful. Eh?
Yeah, and you know, the little things that, like, you know, there are things about being single, and I'm sure people in long-term relationships will agree. Like, I love sleeping by myself.
I know. First of all, I just want to thank you. That was very nice what you just said before.
Oh, stop.
Yes, I will always try not to come up with a front or like
No, not
or to be perceived a certain way,
Uh-huh.
but it's like that just reminds me of like having these discussions really are healing.
Mm.
As I rewatch them, as I listen to certain aspects, as I get feedback from other people, and it's like somebody just told me recently, like, you're perceived a certain way, and yet I hear you speak on the pod, and I realize how even more real you are.
Well, how nuanced you are,
and
right?
I'm like, wow, thank you. That's really, really nice.
yeah,
When you're so easily perceived or judged a certain way.
of course. And
You
I
know?
think,
And I would be a disservice to myself at this fucking ripe age of 38 to not be in touch with
your
myself.
emotions.
So if I am lonely, I'm gonna say it. It's
But that's
fine.
okay, right? And that's what I'm trying to say is that I think society, it's funny, society is so it pressures you to get into relationships, but it doesn't want you to say that you're lonely. And it's like, okay, well, you can't have best of both worlds, right?
And I have the bestest of friends that I've ever had in my life in this present day, that I never feel lonely from.
Yeah.
From
I mean,
you, our good
that's
Judies,
it.
like,
yeah, no, me neither.
never.
I mean, listen, you know, and I'll give one of my best friends, Jade, and like we talk at lengths about this a lot at the current moment we're both single, but before her, I'm not even joking, I would think the companionship and the feeling of a partner could only been sort of withheld within a man.
Okay.
She really opened me up that it's a friendship that could really
Oh, yeah.
broaden your horizon and make you feel like I have a soulmate in her. Like, and then I have a soulmate in you. But it was really her, and she is so intelligent, so smart that she would really talk about that a lot. And I would really listen to her, big fuck, you are so right. I've always had great friends, always, and I love them all. But she would really ignite something. So anyways, I just wanted to say that.
Some people show up at a certain time in your life
Yeah.
to really make you realize how like there's a different way to write history and write your life, and it can have all the same sentiments as what you would traditionally think of from like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Only romance. No, we are so fulfilled
Oh,
within ourselves. So
and it goes on to the pros, because I really want to hone in on the pros of the single life, because, you know, I would say majority maybe of people are single maybe now, especially the gay culture
Community.
of it all. That's it. It's like you do what you want when you want.
yeah.
You
When I'm lonely, I literally will like, I mean, we FaceTime each other
all day, every day.
every day. And I know that if I just FaceTime you, I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, me too.
It's gone.
Yeah, me too.
I'll send Alex a voice note, and before you know it, it's back and forth, and I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, that's it. And that's another, like, it's, and I'm sure people within relationships have those outlets as well, but it is very important that when you are single, to make sure that you fill your cup with the people who really love you, because there are people who love you.
I know.
Love you down.
But love yourself down.
Exactly. And go. Yeah, sorry.
Even with like somebody once said like, oh, you cook for yourself at night. Well, of
Whoa, was
course.
she Amish?
No, but like
But
in
I
the
have
sense
this-
where like, because I'm single and I don't have a partner, I can't eat. I can't make myself a nice meal.
What are you, an invalid?
So I put on
No, but it's comments like that I will, and it
Piss me off.
always comes from someone in a relationship
who is the most fucking miserable.
you know, they're
ever.
cooking for 9 because God forbid your husband can, I don't know, turn on I know, I'm going to say something. Can I say? Oh, no,
it.
I'm going to save it for your weird.
I'm gonna
I have
save it
your
for your
weird.
weird.
Yeah, I have your weirds. But it's like, what?
Unbelievable.
I'm like, I don't know, like, I don't have a grand place, but I have I don't know, I clean, I cook, I pay my bills, it goes into also when we were talking about the episode Money. My You're Weird was like, I really laugh at a household of like 2 incomes, try to tell me how to save money. I'm like, we're in very different situations, right? Like, so it's like, yeah, I could do everything you can do by myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
By myself.
And to really like hone in on like when you're alone, okay? When you're alone, because sometimes that's it. You're just alone. You're not lonely. When you're just alone in your thoughts, I've thought of everything I've accomplished alone. Okay. And I could not have done it in the relationships I was in.
What a nice exercise to do, though, eh?
Okay.
To
Yeah.
actually pay attention to that.
I do. I really do, because I don't like to sit in bad thoughts.
So when you look back on everything you accomplished, you are able to clock and be like, I couldn't have done that with these people.
And especially with certain relationships.
How? So then, damn, I guess I don't have to feel alone or lonely.
Exactly.
Look at what I did.
Look at what Look at what I did. And you have to, you have to be your biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'll sit on my own.
Wow.
And I'll say,
Paula.
none of this could have happened had I been in a relationship.
Yeah.
At least in the ones I was in, right?
know.
And then on the pro of going on, of course I want to find love. Of course, again, it's never a goal.
I
And
know.
I want to really emphasize that. Even when people are like, I don't know, even I had got engaged once and there was a lot of congratulatory things. I'm like, I didn't cure cancer. It's like, so this sort of
Well said. Well said.
yeah, this sort of congratulatory society we are in because you have a partner. Again, that lady that I had met a month ago and who sort of scoffed me because I was alone. But had I said I've been married, she would have said, oh my God. Like, so you have to sit on your own, sometimes by yourself, and realize like, okay, but you did all this alone. The person who comes along now, and I always say, and it's a very simple phrase, is like the cherry on top of my sundae.
I know.
I have built the sundae.
And you said something a few episodes back where you had mentioned, you said to yourself, you're like, I'm really hard to date, or because you really know what it is you like. And then I had to look back on myself and be like, shit, I'm hard to date.
Mm-hmm.
And when I can finally recognize that my loneliness isn't to be jeopardized on the sake of somebody else, that I'm still in charge and I still own my own loneliness. But as long as I know that I will never feel lonely like we did in the past before, because of not because of everything you've been through, everything you've learned, thank God for all of this that you get to know right now.
Yeah, exactly. And
Thank God you know all of this.
And sometimes you can only know it being alone.
Yeah.
And that's really the reality. Sometimes it's doing everyday aspects and what's the word I'm looking for? Everyday necessities that you sit with yourself and you say, I got this. Like, I got it.
That's what I would tell sweeties. It's kind of like when you feel lonely, call a friend, send a voice note,
Yeah.
go for a walk, listen to a new album.
And love yourself.
Yes. And
Yeah.
love
Like
yourself.
sit down and realize that like you've done this time alone. You haven't died. Like you haven't died. You haven't.
And don't take for granted the relationship you're actually supposed to have with yourself.
Exactly, because that's the most important relationship. First of all, and that's another thing too that I would love to really say is that like, when couples are like, oh, like they complete me, or you see these posts of like my forever or my one. It's like that's nice. It's nice, but you should complete you. You should never go into a relationship
Looking to
half.
be, I know.
Because you should almost now you're never really whole until like the day you die. I believe you're always learning, always evolving, but you should never depend on someone to complete you. They should maybe complete aspects of intimacy and companionship.
Yeah, you are
but,
supposed to blend together.
but you should never take on the personality of your partner, nor should it be vice versa.
100%. Paul.
You know what I mean? So I just think listen, there is pros and cons about being in long-term relationships that people can speak of. And I'm sure we've been in them, but even people who are longer married, it's not all fucking rainbows and dandelions.
No.
And then there's pros and cons about being single. But I just think that at the end of the day, you have to know your worth in both situations, in that relationship and when you're single.
Amen, baby.
Yeah. And that's it, really. I just think that, I think loneliness is heavy.
Yeah.
I think it can make you do really silly things.
Yeah.
But I think if you sort of, like you said, always turn it around and try to do something productive,
Yeah.
try to look at yourself in the mirror and say, like, I'm worth it and I could do this.
And stop distracting it by making decisions that won't really contribute in the end.
yeah.
You know?
And if we are talking about romantics, okay, there is somebody for everybody. Whether you met them at 15, whether you met them at 25, 35, 40. I mean, people are
I know.
meeting the loves of their life at 65. There are dating apps dedicated to 65 and older.
No, I know.
Back in the day, you were like dead and gone at 65. Like there was no chance for love.
Yeah.
Right. So I just think that if we're going to focus on romantic loneliness, that special person is around the corner. It's not for you to chase, it's for you to attract. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, eh?
Honestly, and I just think I will finish it with that too. I just think your friends and your family can just fill your cup so much more than you know. So much more than you know.
I will always bring it back to being well surrounded.
Yeah.
I have felt lonely for fucking years until people come at the right place in the right time.
Yeah.
And I have never felt that ever again. And those instances of loneliness that you may feel, whether it's romantically or not, like you're saying, just really try to feed yourself a little bit more on it.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard. I understand. And it maybe doesn't feel
Yeah,
good.
it does,
But
yeah.
I'd rather you feel that and it be real.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather you sit in that, feel everything you have to feel about that, and then take yourself out of it,
Yeah.
and go be the strong person that you are.
Wow. Paul, I'm tired of not being able to speak.
Yeah,
Very well
you know
said.
what? Thank you so much. And like I said, I think even for you, I'm so happy for you. First of all, you know what I think about you, and even in romantic wise, I know you're gonna love someone and someone's gonna love you in the way that you deserve. And I just think that your vulnerability and your honesty are just gonna be sort of your superhuman powers going forward.
And if ever you have felt lonely and you feel it in the future, I think we have to constantly remind ourselves we are here, we are present.
Yeah. Yeah. And look of all you accomplished
I know.
alone. I want to say something before we leave because can I take the floor?
Say it.
Okay. I want to say something because it's really been on my mind. Next week's discussion is called Montreal. The love-hate relationship we have with it. I want to bring up, there was a situation this week at Arthur's Nosh Bar, which is a staple in this city.
Yeah.
And of course, the Quebec language police sent them another warning because of the word nosh. Now, nosh is not an English, French word. It is a Yiddish word.
That's right.
Montreal is a blending pot of 1,000,001 cultures. The French language is not under attack in this province. 82% of people identify and speak French. So when you have the majority of a province that speaks the language that this government is fighting to keep, I don't know if you're fighting the right fight. Anglophones exist in this city. We contribute to this city. We build businesses in this city. And the establishment like Arthur's Nosh Bar, who has been around and who has brought people together, who has amazing food, amazing culture, amazing environment. I think what a detriment this province / this city is doing to attack businesses who are contributing to the same economy that they're in. I think, and I made an Instagram story about this. I mean, I've been talking about this issue since I've been 13 when I would smoke weed in the park and you start talking. We are the only province that has a language police. Okay. There are a lot of other provinces, a lot of other states who blend languages that no one is on the attack for. And I just think I want to say, at least for me, and I posted about it, like we stand with Arthur's Nosh Bar.
We really do.
I think that you guys are contributing so much culture to this city. And I think it's such a shame that our own government doesn't understand that Montreal, especially, who is such a blending pot of English, French, and a
Every
million
other
cultures that
culture
come
together.
in. What a shame and what an embarrassment it is sometimes to live in this province and in this city. So I just want to say to every person that gets these warnings, obviously do the legal right thing by it. It was so amazing to see almost every restaurant write Nosh on their signs and on their menus and post about them, because I mean, I just want to say this city has the highest taxes. We have one of the longest waits in ER rooms, and we are worried about the word Nosh.
Paulo, bravo.
So,
I would have not said it better myself.
and that's it. I just think, support every business, French, Anglophone, cultures in between, and let's stand with when it's unjust.
And I think we need to bring more awareness to it.
Yep.
And
Well, we are diving into Montreal next discussion.
yeah, we'll dive into it.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say, because we stand with Arthur's Nosh Bar. We think you're doing amazing things, and we know you'll continue to do amazing things.
Amen.
That's it.
Wow.
Period.
Period.
We're
Pete.
done.
I was just in awe of you right now, speaking the way you just spoke.
Oh,
That's
my
so
God.
well done, babe.
I love you so much.
I love you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, Caroli. Nosh.